I'm Lindsay, and I'm excited to share with you the lesson, Lend a Hand to the Earth. This lesson introduces students to the importance of collective action when trying to tackle environmental problems, and the idea that when we work together, we can make a big impact. Lend a Hand to the Earth is designed for students in grades K through 2 and touches on all 4 core subject areas: science, social studies, math, and English language arts. In addition to skills in these content areas, like participating in group conversations and using tally marks, by the end of this lesson, students will be able to identify an action that will protect the environment, write a pledge about their action, collect data on completed pledges, and discuss the cumulative effects of combined actions. In part 1 of this lesson, you'll need a piece of poster board and some basic art supplies like construction paper, scissors, and markers or crayons. In part 2, students will need a pledge worksheet that we provide. Let's check out the lesson. It can be a good idea to start off the lesson by reading a book about children helping the environment. There are many books out there, and we provide some ideas in the lesson plan. Then, using the book as support, have the class brainstorm a big list of actions that people can take to help the planet. You can ask for volunteers to explain why certain actions are good for the Earth. For example, a student might say, lights use electricity, and when you use electricity, you make pollution. So turning off the lights means making less pollution. Next, introduce students to the word pledge. A pledge is a promise made in public so that everyone knows about it. Explain that as a class, you will be making a pledge to do something to help the Earth. Using your brainstormed list, have students vote on what action they want to use for their class pledge. The pledge should be an action that can be accomplished during school hours and that students think they can do within a 1-week time frame. Once you've decided on a pledge, write it on the top of your poster board. And now, it's time for the art supplies. You'll ask all of your students to trace their hand and cut it out. On their handprint, they will draw a picture of themselves completing the class pledge and then paste it onto the outside edge of the poster board, making sure to leave an empty space in the center. Then, at the end of each day, gather students around the poster and ask who was able to complete the pledge at school that day. Mark a tally in the center of the poster for every time a student accomplishes the pledge. I love the math integration here. At the end of the week, share your poster for the school to see and spend some time reflecting on the activity. You can discuss with students how completing the pledge made them feel, what they think about the impact of all those tallies in the center versus their own individual impact, and what might happen if their whole school or their whole community completed the pledge. Imagine the huge collective impact that would have. In part 2, students use the provided pledge worksheet to create their own individual pledges. Just like in part 1, they'll write their pledge and then draw a picture of themselves completing their unique action. Students should take their pledge worksheet home each night and make tally marks on their worksheet for every time they complete their action. By creating and carrying out both individual and collective pledges, students start to see the big positive impact that their actions can have on the planet. Making changes in their own life and encouraging others to do the same helps even the youngest learners feel empowered as stewards of the planet. Lend a Hand to the Earth and other lessons like it can be found at www.populationeducation.org. Thanks for watching.